Okay, so this story goes all the way back to middle school. Well, coming out of elementary school, I transferred to a middle school. In that middle school, I experienced like a different change of environment where it's like, they have, the popular kids and stuff like that, and you have the non-popular kids. And especially as a new student, you automatically go into that non-popular kid group. And so I was experienced to that. I was also experienced to, you know, like racist jokes and stuff like that. That was like new to me at that time in grade six. I It was the first time I ever experienced it. I remember I went through some problems with that. There were people being racist, making racist jokes, and it was bothering me at that time. Fast forward to grade seven. In grade seven, well, back in grade six, I was going to switch schools and go to a different school because that's what my parents said that would happen since they wanted us to go to a school that was closer to our area. But that ended up not happening, and so we stayed in the same middle school. So in grade seven, first day of school, I walk into the class and everybody is not happy that I'm there. They're like, "Oh, you're still here? Oh, we completely forgot about you," stuff like that, right? And of course, in grade seven, as a like middle schooler, that's obviously gonna hurt a bit if you hear people talking about that, like about you like that. And so I was like, it was almost like I was falling down and into despair almost. Like I was wondering, oh, why don't people like me and stuff like that. But then also in grade seven, it was harder for me to make friends since everyone was kind of just mean to me, avoiding me, stuff like that. So I really had to fight in order to get them to even recognize that I was there, right? And then moving on to grade eight. Grade eight was where I finally kind of got to relax a bit because most of the popular kids went to the other class, which was a benefit for me. And so I had a small group of people who I was cool with, friends with. And grade eight is when I decided to make a major change in myself that um friendship does not matter to me. Like pursuing friends is not what I'm going to force most of my time on. But that's not the mindset that shifted everything for me. But it leads up to that mindset, right? So I wasn't gonna be friends with anyone who was disrespecting me, and I would try to be like respected. But if people don't show that same respect to me, then obviously I won't respect them, right? But even in grade eight, there was still some kind of like aching, like something in my head like that was hurting. It was almost like I don't even know how to explain this type of feeling. It's like you just feel highly stressed, like your brain is in pain basically. And I was like wondering what is happening, like why is this happening? Is it because of friends or anything like that? I don't think it was any of those reasons, but once this happened and I was spending more time at home, like in bed, and like my head will always hurt every time, and I was wondering like what is wrong with me. And then that's when one day all of a sudden it it came to me, like my future self came to me, and like in my mind, and kind of told me what my future would be like, if that made sense. Basically, I got a revelation as to what my future would be and the direction I should pursue, right? I had my future self come guide me through to see what I can achieve in this life, basically. And I really clung to that because it was pretty much all I had. Either that or stick to that aching pain in my head. And so I decided to, of course, stick with this goal of mine, this future that I see myself reaching. And since then, it's made me improve in all aspects when it comes to being more confident, being able to be like to look presentable, being more like knowledgeable, things like that. Self improvement stuff, also like business stuff, things like that I need in order to reach my future self, right? And so that desire, that future mindedness, let's call it that. Future mindedness is when you are looking towards the future and everything in the past really doesn't matter to you, right? It doesn't matter what happened in the past, what trauma or anything you've went through. You're just focused on the future, and the present is what you're using to get to that future. So anything you see in the future that you need to work on in the present right now is what you will work on. And in the present, you only see setbacks as learning opportunities, right? So I really believe this is a great mindset for anybody to have, because it really takes you out of this whole, sometimes you want to get out of the moment, if that makes sense. Because, like, for example, if you're overwhelmed with a lot of work, you obviously feel like you want to get out of that moment. But when you have a future mindedness, you see that work as what's needed to get you ahead, to get you to where you want to be, right? So it basically pulls you out of the present so you can get a bird's eye view of what you're doing, why you're doing it, and pretty much what you need to pursue, right? Another great thing about future thinking is that it allows you to be adaptable. So the future, you're only gonna really see the outcome of what you want in the future, and every step to get to that outcome, you have to decide that in the present, which means you can adapt, because there's many ways to get to the same goal. There's tons of ways to get to the same goal. You just have to pick one that works best for you, which is great. This is why I love like future thinking, being optimistic. It truly just helps you um have patience, number one, because you know you're still going to reach that goal in the end. And number two, it allows you to be creative and innovative, because you know that no matter what you do, no matter which way you do anything, you will still reach your goal. So you can think of creative ways that suits you best, not what someone tells you suits you best, but what you think suits you best in order to reach that future goal, right? And so because of this future thinking, I became more liked and more respected. So I saw my future self as being someone who people really looked up to, who people liked, who people respected. And so I started emulating these traits that I saw my future self having. I started being more approachable, being more friendly. I started like caring more about people. I started considering people's opinions, their feelings, stuff like that. I also started leading in some ways. And all of this builds up to like make people earn my respect. Like if you talk to most adults who see me, they think that I am way older than I look. Number one, obviously thanks to genetics and stuff, but also number two, the way that I act. They think like it is very professional in a sense, like mature. It's very mature, and they won't expect that from a teenager. Like right now, I'm 17, about to turn 18. Most of them would expect that I'm like 20 or something like that. That I act like a 20-year-old. Another thing that I like about future thinking is that you see everything in a positive light. So like I said, you don't see failure as failure. You see it as a learning opportunity, just a little setback that will allow you to, stop, regroup, think about your next move, and then execute. That's all failure is in your eyes. But for someone who is specifically just living for the moment, have no clue what their future is, a huge setback will seem like their entire life is over. Like if you fail, like let's say if you do bad on an exam, you'll automatically think, oh, I can't get into universities, or oh, I'm not smart enough for this. But when you are thinking in a optimistic way, you'll see, okay, yeah, I got a bad score on this exam, but my future self, I still see him as being a doctor. I still see him as being a lawyer. I still see him as being an engineer. So I know that even though I just failed this exam, I can still keep improving until I reach my future self. You like it's a great mindset for never quitting. It's like you're being disciplined just by thinking about your future self. So why would you not want to be disciplined? Because of this thinking, my mindset has become almost indestructible. When I face setbacks, right, I don't give up. You may see me be consistent at something, but then fail, but I won't just give up on that thing entirely. No, I will keep pursuing it, because I know that one day I will become consistent and I will become good at it, and I will reach my future self. But I will not give up, because I know I have a future self that I'm looking up to, and I know that since he is there, it means he went through everything I am currently going through in order to get there, if that makes sense. Yeah, all this to say that it just makes things easier when you're able to look at your future self, because you feel more confident in yourself and in your abilities, in your current abilities, and also in the fact that you can reach where you want to be. Okay? And lastly, it seems to me that it's almost like I have my future figured out. Like in a sense, like obviously nobody knows what their future will be, but in a sense, I feel so confident that this is what my future will be that I'm simply just working towards it. It's almost automatic. Like everything I do is just working towards it, right? And so when I see other people my age who are like, oh, what am I going to do for university? Oh, do I even want to go to university? Blah, 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 stuff like that. I already know what I'm going to do because I'm simply just following what gets me to my future self. So I feel confident in my decisions. I feel confident in any action that I take. I feel confident in even while I am like failing, or going through any obstacles, I still feel confident because I know I will reach my goal. All this to say that this is the mindset that I want you to have as an individual, because I promise you it will change your life. It will change the way you see things. It will change the way you approach things. It will change the way that you interact with people. It will basically force you to start it will force you to start changing for the better because you want to reach your future self. And automatically that will happen. As long as you break down the steps of what you think it'll take for you to get there, and you simply just follow the steps, never giving up, you will eventually reach there. And even if you don't reach there, you will get so close to it. So close to it, while everybody else will be down here. So you'll still be better than everybody else. But yeah, that's all. I just wanted to share this mindset that I've been having all the way since grade 8, and how it's benefiting me and how it can benefit you. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See ya.